Top of the evening to you. I want to welcome you to another episode of The War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in to me on a nightly basis. Because you know, without you guys, I would not have a show. And it means a lot that you take the time out to tune in. Hold on, I want to make sure I put this in a group. Let me try it this way. Okay. Tell you what's up, man. Been a minute. Messed around and got sick on you. And had to end up going to the hospital, and I didn't have the COVID, but I had some type of virus. So I shook it off, and now I'm just letting my body get stronger. Because when you're at war, you got to be at your best. But I want to thank every last one of y'all for the prayers and everything that you guys have been doing for me. I mean, I appreciate it. They couldn't even name what I had, but you know, it's what it is. And when you've been bedridden for 5 days, you got to take your time, letting your body catch up with you. So, but you know, it's time to jump back in the saddle again. Got some hell to raise. Up in Klein. Got some hell to raise in Bel Air, Texas for a good baseball coach, Nick Ozuna. Got some hell to raise for some black high schools that's being messed over. And of course, my arch enemy, the Houston Independent School District. The one thing that I will say is, I'm not your play toy. Go in there and tell your superintendent I'm not his play toy. Negro, this is how the game works. You put Tiffany Guillory back at Yates. Y'all didn't even have a meeting with her. Out of respect. You can't look somebody in the eye that you tried to mess over her. You never came down to the community. You never did what you would do in another community that you've done in other communities. And that tells me that you have no respect for the African American community. So therefore, I have none for you. But since you don't believe that fat meat is greasy, then it's time for me to spank you. And this time when I spank you, it's going to be a whole lot worse than it was the last time. Because now I'm going to spank you in a manner that even you can't even recover from, Mr. Superintendent. Rick Cruz, you'll never recover from this. And the only thing that I could tell y'all is go to the nearest place where you can buy some boxes so you can start packing your stuff. Because I may have been sick, but I wasn't dead. So I'm going to tell you how this is going to go. In the world that I live in, with the way that I like to play chess, I've already got you cornered. You can't move. You can't breathe right now. And that's why you're kind of being quiet. But I don't respect the fact that you're being quiet. I just believe that you're being quiet because you're a coward. You're a coward. And some people, oh, you're a bully. I'm exactly what the doctor ordered. You call me whatever you want to call me. But how does one man bully a multi-billion-dollar school district? You know, the other day we got word But you guys wanted to fight us again in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals after we spanked you for $300,000, and you went back to the same court to appeal that $300,000, and you lost. So that $300,000 is gonna go up to about $500,000. Ain't no more appealing for you, homie. You might have well gone write the check. I'm gonna keep whooping your ass for the reason that I'm just kind of sick of you messing over Black children. You sent our principal back, but you didn't send any money for tutoring. You didn't do anything that you lied and said that you were going to do. So am I happy that she came back? I'm ecstatic. Look at how I'm jumping around. But when you sent her back to the same conditions that she was complaining about, you're setting her up for failure. And I'll tell you this here. I got a strange feeling, because there's days I know things that y'all don't know. And Mr. Superintendent, you'll be long gone before Guillory's ever gone. You don't have the stroke that you think. Some of us can play the game a little bit better. What I am sicker and tired of is the bamboozlement. Right now, you got tons of people in the city screaming, we have to stop the state takeover of HISD. Why should a whole school district be penalized for X amount of schools that are just not performing? Why did those kids have to be sacrificed in order for HISD to do what they really wanted to do, which was try to close those schools? Do you know how many kids that we lost to the streets because they were not educated? Do you know how many kids we got right now that can't read on grade level because they're not being allowed to teach them? So for those that are screaming, don't let the state take over, what have you done to make it better? What have you done? What has this district done to make it better for the kids that are struggling? All the kids ain't struggling. Certain children are struggling. So stop the state takeover. You can't stop the state takeover. That's done. You can't, it's not going to happen. The question is what does it look like now? I'm over here looking a little worried, ain't I? Nope. I'm not worried at all. Because as I said, sometimes I might know more than what some people know. See, when you dig one grave, Mr. Superintendent, you need to dig at least two. But while you wasn't digging it, I was digging it for you. And I'm going to make sure that you fit perfectly. You have time to fix some of your indiscretions. Because if you don't, you won't be here. You won't be here. Why is it always the Black schools that are under attack? Small school subsidies, and they're small, and okay, well, you got some white schools that are small, but you turned them into specialty schools. Why you don't do that to Black schools? You know what you do to Black schools? You take them away from the school. You take the kids away from the schools because they don't have the enrollments that you want. You get the black kids out to schools. Then you either reconstitute the schools, you change the name to a certain degree, and then you import all the kids that you really want in that school. You put all the technology that it takes to make the school run, and you basically give the school to another demographic. We ain't going for that shit no more. Remember, I didn't throw the first punch. You did, big homie. But as I always say, I ain't the type to start drama. I'm the type to finish. Education is the key to everything. It's the key to everything. So ain't no union got no stroke right now, contrary to popular opinion. Ain't no lies gonna be told. We looking at the data. I don't trust your data as far as I can see it because you control the data. So you know how to manipulate your own data. I don't care nothing about that. But I will tell you that the games that you've been playing, if you old school, we got a saying. You ain't a player until you get played. Mr. Superintendent, we finna play you like a funky piano. Little old Monroe finna play you like a funky piano. And all because you let your ego, remember I kept telling you about your ego. Your ego. Tell Max Maul, Sean Bird, Rick Cruz, Denise Watts, to all start looking for jobs. And you don't forget to pack your shit too, because you coming up out of there too. You get one shot at greatness. It's obvious you don't care about the black kids on any side of town. It's obvious with the way that, you do what you do and you try to act like your RISE campuses are doing this and doing that. And say, man, we don't want to hear all that. Your assessments look horrible. The assessments look horrible. So the only way that you're going to make it on these STAR tests is if you cheat. The assessments look horrible. Yeah, I know your data better than you know your own data. So you can come into a building and you can tell whatever stories you want to tell, like you normally do. I watched you a little bit last night. Wasn't feeling well, so all I could really do was just sit there. And as usual, you couldn't answer the questions because you don't have the answers to the questions. I want you to clearly understand something. You will get an opportunity to redeem yourself at some point in the next 7 days. And if you don't, Negro, you cooked. Look like I'm playing with you, boy. But in the meantime, since I'm feeling a little bit better, it's time to go back to church. It's time to go back to schools. It's time to get in your shit again. And you want to know why? Because it's what I do. So I want to send a message to anybody that has a problem with the way that I do shit. I don't care. I'm about to apply pressure again. How dare you Send our principal back, but not send the money and the resources. See, what I am not is the good slave. You can't just tell me to come sit on the back of the master's porch and eat these pork bellies. You can have as many pork bellies as you want, Monroe, and think that I'm going to be satisfied when I'm watching the slaves sit on the front yard and they eating the good scraps. I don't want your pork bellies. I want you to clearly understand one thing. You open a can of old school crimson and gold whoop ass. And I ain't planning on doing nothing else. Nothing else. I want it all, homie. I want it all. Like brand new socks and drawers. I want it all. So you can get ready for it. And I am not I'm not gonna ease up one bit. So don't think that I let you make it, because I didn't. I started feeling a little bad. And I know somewhere in the back of your decrepit mind, you thought I'd die off. But God ain't through with me yet. Because I have to purge the Houston Independent School District of all these devils. It wouldn't be the first time that I did it, like I tried to tell you. But you don't get to sit back and to continue acting like you're doing something for our children, when in all actuality, you're doing nothing. I'm not enormed with taking pictures with politicians. I'm not enormed with going to the fancy parties and the black tie galas. I'm not enormed in all that, homie. That shit don't make me. I get excited when I see children sign scholarships. I get excited when I see moms loading up the cars to take their babies off to their freshman years of college. I get excited when I see some of my old players just turn out to be good men and working decent jobs. That's my excitement. So the things that drive some of us, they don't drive me. You have about 7 days to try and redeem yourself. And if you don't, the switch will be hit. And then I can sit back and relax and watch it get done. Every fight ain't your fight. But I had to teach you that, country boy. So expect me back in front of your house again. You refuse to have a community meeting. You refuse to send your little henchman down there, your little Sammy the Bull, Giovanni Ponce with his good lying ass. Refuse to send him down there, huh? You didn't have a problem sending him down there to mess over our principal, right? Giovanni, you know what I'm talking about. Come on, bro. How many times did one of our alumni reach out to you because that's what you told them they needed to do in order to get this community meeting set up? Oh, you talking about the community meeting that you ain't never had. You're going to wish you had it, boy. Don't stop interviewing. That's my advice to you, Giovanni Ponce. Don't stop interviewing, because you will not be here very long. Contrary to popular opinion, you will not be here very long. The games that I watch y'all play, these last 2 years, the careers that you've destroyed, just because you had the power to do it. And then people want to say that I'm the bully. We've sat here and we've watched these people destroy people's careers. I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you pay. I wonder what you're going to feel like when you have no livelihood, when I'm done. See, you could have made this totally right. But you couldn't do that. You let your ego control you. But I control the chessboard. So I'm coming back for round 2. Let's see what you feel like when I get it done this time. I ain't all the way there, Elkie. But I know I can't sit still because they're getting ready to run the train through the station on some school closures. And here's my thing. I ain't going for that shit. I don't care what side of town is on. I don't care what board member agree with it. I ain't going for that shit. You're penalizing children because a school district abandoned them. You're penalizing a community by taking their school because a school district refused to educate these children. You're penalizing a community because that same school district took out the viable programs that could make the community and the school run. You're penalizing the community because you crippled their feeder pattern. We're going to make you smell our cologne when it's all said and done. And country boy, I'm going to run you completely out of Texas. Don't even try to find a job in Texas. Because wherever you show up at, that's where I'm going to show up at. That's where I'm going to show up at. I'm telling you what's going to happen. I don't have enough energy to do a full hour show tonight. We're going to get there. But the OG is back. And the tenacity that I have, the unwillingness to bow down and relent shall never leave my spirit. And just like in the courtroom the other day, I'm going to whoop your ass again. Hey, you don't teach these kids cursive. Just write the check to my attorney. I think $500,000 will be sufficient. It was 3 until you wasted another year and a half wanting to go back and appeal something that you knew you shouldn't have did in the first place. So I want y'all to think about this here. If we get 500 out the deal, let's tack on another 3 because that's what they probably had to pay their attorney. So you wasted $800,000 minimum to try to silence me in a case that you knew you would lose. And you've not been able to do nothing. You've not been able to do nothing. Write the check. Now, what I want you to do tomorrow, I want you to go have a grand old time at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, Black Heritage Society Gala. And I want every one of them Negroes in there to shake your hand. You know why? Because it's going to be every one of them Negroes that's going to turn their back on you, boy. You don't learn the hard way. Hard head. Make a soft ass. I told you in the beginning I was going to make you smell my cologne. Starting to smell real sweet, ain't it? Go enjoy yourself tomorrow. Because for the first time in over a week, I'll get out for just one situation. But it's very, very important. Your demise is being plotted. All because you wanted to mess over a lot of good black kids. And now you'll pay. It's the war zone. And I'm the 5-star general.